Well, well eligible, that's what we wanted to accomplish. Wasn't pretty, so we'll go forward.
Did being down 5 minutes in the game bring out something in your team, the way it responded?
I don't think we played well all day. I mean, we still had to kick 3 or 4 field goals in the red zone in the second quarter. If you want to win a championship, you're going to have to play better. I just talked to the group downstairs, team. I'm way happy for them. I told them before the ball game they weren't ready. I watched them warm up. And so, fortunately for us, we didn't play very well and won a ball game. That hadn't happened around here in the last 2 years. So we were sloppy. We got a guy kicked out of the game. We didn't play very good pass coverage in the first quarter and a half. You got to get ready to play.
Coach, besides being bowl eligible, were you also trying to send a message about how good you are?
Oh no, I didn't want to score the last touchdown. They kept blitzing in the latter part of the third quarter. They kept blitzing, and if you bring in more than we had, then you got the check is to throw it. So I mean, off the 5, we had the long pass. It was one of those things where they brought everybody, and we threw a pick route, caught it, and they broke a couple tackles and win. But there was not trying to be a message of anything. We didn't go into this saying we wanted to run up the score. That's not what TCU is all about. We're not that kind of football team. That's why I'm sitting here having telling you negative things when a lot of people would be just jumping up and down. If you want to win a championship, you got to get ready to go.
But do you think it shows how good the team is?
I mean, that you can play average and do like that. Yeah, I think it helps us. We've had teams that we've played well and lost. So.
That's impressive, Victor. Do you consider it impressive?
From a fan standpoint, from a media standpoint, probably so. From a coach's standpoint, what we were trying to get accomplished, no. I mean, we probably lost 1 player tonight because of all that. We were the first ones, so it's kind of a downer. But as far as everybody's great, you can play okay and win. I mean, we've come a long ways in program here. I mean, it's really since December. So,
Gary, I'm sure you were a little frustrated by the end of the second quarter, the way your team was playing, to go out and score 31 in the third and kind of respond the way they did. Were you encouraged by that?
oh yeah, you're not going to play great all the time, but what's going to go along with that is I'm not going to say we play great all the time. I mean, you guys get to where you don't believe anything anybody says anymore. If they tell you stuff, you just want to hear. So it turned out well. We were able to play a lot of players. I like it that we won at home because we haven't held home field advantage up to this point. We got a Kansas State game coming up in 2 weeks. You got to go down to Texas. You got West Virginia. Then you got to go to KU on the road. So we got a lot of work to do in the next 3 weeks.
How's Josh Dawson?
I think it's not. It's negative on anything. He's got an ankle, so we don't know really. We'll know more tomorrow. You know how it is. So sleep overnight, do all the things you need to do.
Gary, what did you see on the play with Hackett, and what did you tell the referees?
I just saw what I saw on the screen, and he blocked him in the back, which was a penalty. And then said it was fists were thrown. That's why both of them were thrown out. So I just wanted to review it because I didn't see that.
Is there an appeal process with the league?
Yeah, they'll look at it tomorrow morning. I mean, it is. I've been telling him for 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
I've been telling him for 3 weeks, stay out of it. So now if he does it, then he's out for a half. But I was glad because Kenny Iloka played well while he was in. So next guy up.
Gary, how would you evaluate the play of Boykin today?
Well, I mean, 7 touchdowns. I mean, you can't, what can you say? But I'm worried, I'm just so that everybody understands in this room, because you're here, he's coming, but I told him last week he was not talking. But he'll be here, okay? Just so I don't have to hear the wrath of Coach P's and I's. Okay? Just want everybody to know.
Is he gonna come down here and talk, or just?
He's gonna be right here. Okay? So, but I told him if he says anything, I'll promise you, you will never, ever, ever see him again.
Except in New York.
Huh?
Except in New York.
Like I told him on the field, I'm not talking Heisman. He's the TCU quarterback. He was one of the ones I was talking about acting before the game that wasn't acting the way we needed to get done what we need to do. We need to understand we got to handle success. Let me tell you a story. So, Rose Bowl year, we win at Utah. Okay, 45-10, whatever it was. I come home and I don't corral them in. We don't play well against San Diego State. We win, but we've dropped in the polls. It about cost us the Rose Bowl. Okay? Everybody remember that? We didn't play very well. Draw cost us the Rose Bowl. Okay? We were lucky. Boise came back and got beat. So all of us need to learn from what we do and how we do it. So I'm keeping my nose down. I know I have a good football team. I understand the level of play that they can play. I've seen them do it. Now we need to be able to do that. We've got a very good West Virginia team that we have to play next week at home. So at their place, and they play very well there. And so we got to get ready.
What would have been the decision on the fake punt?
We'd seen it. We'd seen something we saw that made a difference. It happened again. It was like on our kickoff return. We had it happen to us that we did in the Oklahoma game. We had it happen to us in a bowl game, and we had that play happen to us last year in the Iowa State game. And so we saw something, and we called it. We tried to steal a possession, and we were able to do it. I think we didn't get a touchdown. I think we ended up getting a field goal out of it. There was quite a 2-minute deal there where it's fumbles, fake punts, roughing the punter. I mean, it was just a plethora of good things going on.
Coach, were you happy with the way your secondary responded after the first?
Yeah, I did. You know, sometimes I don't think they give themselves credit. You know, Texas Tech for the football. Coach Kingsbury does a great job. Really does. They know us really well. Coach Havity's been here. They know our signals. They know everything. They know what we're doing. I finally got them convinced that when they go quick and they look like they're throwing some kind of screen to back up. Because they had 2 long plays off a 2-hitch screen and goes. One was a bubble and go, one was a hitch screen and go, that they had 2 long plays on them. One was a touchdown, one almost was a touchdown. And then they ran the back vertical. And here's the thing. The last thing I said in the walkthrough this morning was, watch out for the back vertical, I'll play action out of 2 backs. So don't listen. I mean, go figure. I mean, you got to think about we knew the way they were staying in the game was big plays. So if I was watching our film, here's how I would attack TCU. So don't listen.
What's your confidence level in Boykin going to West Virginia
Well, he played there. I mean, wasn't he the quarterback when we won 2 years ago? I mean, the key is we're going to have to play better defense and pass defense than we played today. And, we're going to have to be able to score points because they can score points. Key is whether it's 59-58 or 3-2. All we're trying to do is get a win. Just like today. It's fine when you got guys that can throw the ball. They've got some really good players. Dana's doing a great job. They're on a roll, and you got to get ready to play. You got them and then Kansas State both here back-to-back. So 2 good football teams.
Was Josh becoming one of these guys that Trevon could really look to and trust?
Well, I think all the guys. I think he's gotten where all those guys has gotten to that point. Unless something happens, I expect Josh Dotson to be back play Saturday, whether he practices or he doesn't practice. We'll get him ready to play on Saturday. So.
What do you think of his performance up to the point he got hurt?
I think pretty good. I mean, he had the 1 catch and touchdown doing it, but I mean, that was another 4-hour ball game, so I forgot what the first quarter was like, to be honest with you. I've got to come up with a longer call sheet on defense than I've ever had, to be honest with you. I used to have a three-hour call sheet, and now I've got to get to a 4-hour call sheet. I mean, I thought I was going to dinner tonight, but obviously not. We're starting at 2:30, it's only 7, I thought it was 8.
But Gary, what about the blitz you got from Green coming off the bench?
You know, really all of the runners, even Trace Johnson, I mean, I was excited. Again, from the very beginning of the season, we've had an and or behind all the tailbacks. And so, I know there'll be things made, well, Tech scored 70 back on you in 2004. That had nothing to do with anything on my mind. You didn't hear me say anything about Tech. You heard me talk about what I want TCU to do. That's how you win championships, is you just worry about what you can control. That's what I'm worried about right now.
What did Boykin do to get it? You said his pregame, you got a bad vibe. Did you do something
That's
to
just,
get back together?
I mean, you can still play okay. It's just leaders got to be a certain way they need to be. You can't forget where you came from. Trying to convince them how you do this, you know, just have memories of last year. Just stay where you need to be. Doesn't mean that we don't want to have a swagger. Doesn't mean we don't want to have confidence. Doesn't mean we don't want to play well. None of the above. It means you got it. There's a way you're supposed to play. And even in this offense, there's a way you're supposed to play. So I'm gonna stay after it.
So your point is that you don't want your players to take the wrong step out of this game?
No.
Gary, not only for Boykin, but was there a trepidation you had before the game, just watching your team out on the field?
Well, that's what I said. I mean, if I wouldn't walk in and just make it up. I walked in and told them they weren't ready to play. And they weren't ready to play.
How'd y'all score 82?
Good question. Turnovers,
BJ took a big hit earlier in the game.
shoulder. Everybody looked like it was a head, but it wasn't. It was a shoulder.
So he's good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Had you felt that trepidation with this group in previous games this year? Like
Here, what's that word mean? I'm just a coach.
fear.
No, I wasn't fearing anything. I've been doing this 33 years. It was the first time in 7 ball games that I felt that when we walked in that we weren't mentally right to do what we needed to do. Doesn't mean you won't score 82 points. Doesn't mean you won't score and hold them to 0. I'm looking for how do you get ready to play. And so, I mean, so you can write your stories if you guys want me to go jump up and down. That's not. We got 5 games left. You got to go win championships. But I told them downstairs I wasn't going to be jolly, but I wasn't negative either. I mean, you won 82-27 or whatever it was. It's just here's how we played up to this point. Okay, so here we go.
Coach, it's possible next week will be a primetime game. Is that something else you have to prepare this team for?
No, I mean, only thing that'll be a difference is when we leave. If it's a morning game, then we'll leave earlier on Friday. If it's an afternoon game, we'll leave middle of the day. And if it's a night game, we'll do everything here and leave at night, get down there late, about 10 o'clock, and get in our beds and go to bed, and you get ready to go. I mean, you just look at us historically over the last 3 years playing on the road, we played well. Won 4 out of 5 games the first year in the conference. Last year we took Oklahoma, Kansas State, all the rest of them 2 or 3 point games on the road. So I have nothing historically to say that they won't get ready to play. And so if you told me that if there was a game that I needed to play sloppy in, still win it, of the 2 that I got to play, then this was it. So now I'm happy. How you guys talk me into it? I'm happy now. What else would you like to talk about? I'm happy. Yeah, we won 82-27. What do you want to do? You guys
Happy
great?
with the,
I'm great. Let's go.
It seemed like y'all were doing some different things with kickoffs, and Jaden was placing the ball in different places, got you possession.
Well, I mean, that's like, I told you guys at medium, you can't, there's too many guys. Number 11 for Jakeem, the guy last week for Oklahoma State, everybody's got somebody that can take it to the house. You can't kick off to him 7, 8, 9 times and kick it deep. It's not smart. So we work on everything that we do today, we work on in practice. Everything we do. So we didn't plan on the sky kick across the field to be one of those where they misplayed it. It was just to get them to fair catch it on the 20-yard line. I mean, guy makes the fair catch, then the guy calls him off, he runs up, they let the ball hit, and we get the ball. I mean, the whole thing is don't let those guys, that guy ran one back but penalty called it back a couple weeks ago. And so, I mean, it's just trying to be smart. And the other thing we worked on, and we made this mistake in the Oklahoma game. Oklahoma game, we had some penalties after that were assessed on the kickoff. We just kicked the ball out. Today, we worked on it, and when we had the ball from the 50, we sky kicked it over, and the ball landed at the 5, and we ended up getting them inside the 10-yard line. But, they fooled us because we let them drive the whole length of the field and score. So that did us a lot of good.
Let's do 2 more questions.
Post-game handshake went well, Cliff.
Yeah, you know what? I talked to him about Matt Jokel. So he coached him at A&M. So I just wanted to make him aware of the situation.
Last question.
You mentioned turnovers, Coach, and y'all scored almost off of every single turnover you had. Has that been a major?
How many were touchdowns?
I have 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals off the ones in the first half, and then.
You can't get the ball inside the 25. The field goals, you got to have more than that when you get that there. I don't think Meach was happy. This is not me talking. I don't think Meach was happy. Just looking at, third downs. When I see it here, I'd like to know what it was going into the fourth quarter. We were 50%, but I'd like to know what it was before we went into the fourth quarter. You just gotta play the way you need to play. I know my guys know me. And so my whole thing is, like I told them at the end of the week, this is before even today. I've been tough and I've protected them because they worked awfully hard. They worked awfully hard not to fall very far. Okay? And you never know how things turn out and how everything goes. I think they deserve being protected, and I've tried to do that the best I could, and I told them I was going to do it till we were bowl eligible. Now we need to go forward. We got 5 games left, and now we got to do what we need to do. But we've got where we need to get. We can do that. Now we need to go let the chips fall how they may and go play. And so we're going to go do that. We've got some really good football teams ahead of us, and we're a good football team. So we've got to stay healthy. You got to have Josh Dotson's back and some of the people like that. But outside of that, it's no one would have said 2 years ago the TCU would have played any ball game and scored 82 points. But you would never say the TCU was going to play 4.5-hour ball games either. We played 2 of them now. I'm telling you, my call sheet, this call sheet, I'm putting it front and back. No, it's not just going to be one-sided. I got to come up. We're going to have to start practicing on Friday to get a couple new calls in. So,
What was the Jokel situation?
well, I can't talk about it injury-wise, but it's probably not good.
Thanks, Coach. We'll get our players in next.